26th Southern Africa Telecommunication Networks and Application Conference kicked off at the Kruger National Park in Skukuza, Mpumalanga. Attended by industry specialists, including those in telecommunications as well as academia, the conference serves as a platform for discussion around cutting-edge trends taking place in the ICT sector. This year's theme is the AI-Driven Hyperconnected Future, co-creating shared value. Well, our reporter Mpumalanga Sizibe is there and she's attending the conference, so I can imagine this is really, really interesting. Talk to us about some of the things you heard yesterday.
Thanks very much, Leanne. Yes, of course, as you said in the introduction, we're at the SATNAC conference 2024. It's the 26th year. And of course, the big theme is around artificial intelligence, talking about how it plugs into our future, a hyper-connected future. There are many players here, of course, from the telecoms industry and other sectors. They're hoping that AI is going to be able to find solutions in terms of health delivery, education, and other services. Speaking to the Minister of Communications and Digital Technology yesterday, he was talking about how services could improve in the public sector with the use of things like AI. So it's been very interesting indeed. It's an area, of course, of high technical advancement. It can be a bit highbrow, but of course that's why we have guests to speak to us to tell us about how this affects us in practical life. I'm joined by Tony Pellegrino. He's the MD of Nokia. We're all quite familiar with Nokia, but are we familiar with what it actually does? Well, he's here to join me and tell us. Thanks very much, Tony, for joining us.
Thank you for having me today.
Super. I just wanted to find out, just give us a sense of how Nokia, exists in the Southern African markets, and also, traditionally, we once knew you for handsets, but you do a lot more, right?
Absolutely. We are not producing handset anymore. It's a company called HMD doing that now. But basically, we are in the network infrastructure, and we build a lot of digital infrastructure that today are supporting all Africa and in sub-Saharan Africa. We build a lot of the optical network that allow the internet to be used. We connect a lot of home with fiber to the home, whatever it is in the high income segment or the low income segment. We build mobile networks that you use every day. We're switching your voice and the data connection that you're doing at home or with your cell phone. So yes, we are a big player in the South African market in terms of telecom infrastructure. Yeah.
So when you look at the theme, this year's theme about AI, in a hyper-connected future and co-creating shared value, what does that mean to you exactly?
It's really important to me because actually at Nokia, we believe that technology needs to support people to act together. And that's what we create, that technology to support the people and acting together. So collaboration is essential. And what does it mean? It means that our system needs to be open in order to communicate with each other. We cannot have monolith system closed. But acting together means also finding partner locally to help us to address the challenge that we have in the different sector in South Africa. We work with local partner to address in the utility sector or in other segment of the market where our technology can be used, like transportation or other segment.
We understand that in the South African market, we still have about 30% of the population that are underserved when it comes to digital access. What sort of conscious work are you doing to ensure that you cater for those types of people?
Actually, it's quite interesting. There is a dynamic happening in South Africa right now where actually fiber, which was initially meant only for what we call the leafy suburb in South Africa, is also going in the high-density, low-income area. And what we found out is that there is a massive market potential because the old township economy is something that we need to understand better to provide service adapted to the mode of consumption. And that's where we work with local fixed network operator, ISP, that are active in those communities in order to make sure that we can bring services to a lower cost for the end user, because just have connectivity is not enough. You need to be digital enabled. And what I mean by digital enabled is that the people can consume data relaxing at home. And AI will only accelerate that because consumer, enterprise and all sector in the industry will take advantage of the benefit of AI, but it will increase the traffic required on the data center. And that is really important, that we create a resilient connectivity in South Africa from the data center to the end user, no matter where you live.
Excellent. Tony, thank you very much for your time there. That was Tony Pellegrino. He's the MD of Nokia. Very interesting what he's saying about working with other providers to ensure that there's greater access to digital technology, because, of course, if we're all digitally connected, that's going to empower us to be able to have better economic options and fortunes. So a very positive story there. And, of course, we want it to come to fruition right around the country. It's back to you in studio, Leanne.